Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. MTG Box Analysis here with another look at the Mystery Booster Convention Edition. These boxes are quite a lot of fun to open. However, the value in here can be very tricky. There are a total of 1,694 possible cards in this box, and they're spread out across all kinds of sets of Magic. So they all have the Planeswalker symbol, so they're essentially like list cards, but it's like a box of list cards. Of those 1,694, 178 are valued over $1 currently as of the filming of this video. The rest of the cards under $1. There are a total of 30 mythics available, 152 rares, and 452 uncommons. The other 1,060 are going to be commons. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, well, if there's 152 rares and 30 mythics and 178 cards valued over $1, then it's just the rares and mythics, right? No. 57 of the uncommons and 29 of the commons are valued over $1. Although the highest percentage does go in the mythic category. 25 of the 30 mythics are valued over $1. So let's go ahead and crack these things open, see what kind of playtest with cards we get. The playtest cards are not holding any significant value, but we are going to have to look at every single card in here because, again, those commons are going to be quite valuable. So we're going to kick this one off with Danitha Capsian's Paragon. Already off to a great start. All right, so we got a Knight of Cliffhaven, followed by a Thought Collapse. Then we're going to see ourselves a Coral Trickster with a Touch of Moonglove, Shadowcloak Vampire, Destructive Tampering. Then we're going to see ourselves a Mutiny, followed by a Dragon Scarred Bear, a Regrowth. Then we're going to see ourselves an Oron Assassin, followed by a Farmstead Gleaner, and then we're going to see a Contagion Clasp, followed by a Vara Hausalon Witness coming in as our rare. Then our playtest card is going to be a Problematic Volcano. I don't know too many volcanoes that are not problematic, but so in case you didn't catch the flow of the pack, I'll go over it as we open this up. So we're going to see 2 white, 2 blue, 2 black, 2 red, 2 green, and then 2 artifact, and then there are a couple of other slots in the pack. All right, so we're going to see the Antioch Bonnekin, followed by a Midnight Guard. Those are our 2 white cards. Then we're going to see a Send to Sleep. I'm trying to get the focus just right. There we go. And then we're going to see an Aether Snipe, followed by a Dread Return. Then we're going to see a Spreading Rot, followed by a Leaping Master. Then we're going to see ourselves a Shock, with a Beast Breaker of Balaged, followed by Dirkwood Baloth, and we're going to see ourselves a Hidden Stockpile, followed by a Dreadship Reef, and we're going to see ourselves an Ancient Den. Ancient Den is going to be valued just over $1. And then we're going to see ourselves a Grasp of Fate coming in. This card is valued just over $4. And then we're going to see an Everlasting Lich coming in. Very cool. So the most valuable card that you can pull out of here, and if you get one, essentially the rest of the box is free, that's a Mana Crypt. So Mana Crypt is still holding $160 worth of market value out of this set. So we got a Sky Marcher Aspirant, followed by a Renewed Faith. Then we're going to see a Nibbles of Dusk, or Niblis, followed by an Errant Ephemeron with a Blister Grub. Then we've got ourselves a Pit Keeper with an Ondu Champion, followed by a Dragon Breath with a Gaia's Blessing. Very cool. Then we've got ourselves a Dawn's Reflection, followed by a Treacherous Terrain. Then we're going to see Shirag the Rage Pits coming as an uncommon land with a Dragon Mask. And we're going to see a Shamanic Revelation coming in as our rare from Fate Reforged. And our test card is going to be a Witty Demon. These are just fun. All right, moving into our next pack here. This one's going to start off with a Glint Sleeve Artisan, followed by a Geist of the Moors. And then we're going to see a Contingency Plan, followed by a Curiosity. Then we've got a Miasmic Mummy, a Dinosaur Hunter with a Cobble Brute. Then we're going to see Kenera Scrapper, followed by a Centaur Courser. Then we got a Blossoming Dryad with a Death Reap Ritual with an Aether Spellbomb. And then we're going to see an Elixir of Mortality with a Basilisk Collar coming in as our rare. That's going to hold some value for us. And then we're going to see ourselves a Priority Avenger coming in as our playtest card. So again, as I said, those playtest cards, they're just really fun to collect. I think there's 121 unique cards. And I guess you will notice there is no Planeswalker symbol. That's how you know what version or what edition of Convention Edition you have. So if you have the ones with the Planeswalker symbol, they're worth a little bit more. But again, not that much more. Now here's a great example of an uncommon currently valued over $1. In fact, over $4. We have the Aura of Silence. Then we're going to see ourselves a Looming Altasaur, followed by a Crashing Tide. Then we get a Forbidden Alchemy with Nakana Assassin. We're going to see a Dreadbringer Lampads, followed by a Giant Spectacle with a Roast. Then we get a Snapping Sailback with a Cultivate, with a Giant Baiting, a Universal Solvent. Then we're going to see ourselves an Aura Shards. This is going to be an uncommon valued over $8. Very good hit for us. Then we're going to see ourselves a Whelming Wave coming in as our rare, not valued at $8. Then we're going to see a Corrupted Key coming in as our playtest card. So the analysis on this is going to be quite interesting. From a coverage perspective, we're only going to see, I think, 360 cards. So there's no way we're going to actually be able to cover the entire set with a single box. But as far as how much of the rares and mythics we get, I think that'll be interesting, as well as the overall value. Plus a nice check-in on the value of the set as a whole. So stay tuned for that. So we got ourselves a Soul Strike Technique, followed by a Refurbish. Then we're going to see ourselves a Thunder Drake, followed by a Counter Spell, valued just over $1. Then we got a Flesh to Dust with Evanikar's Justice. Then we're going to see Galvanic Blast, followed by a Hulking Devil with a Feral Prowler, an Earthern Arms with a Winding Constrictor. Then we're going to see ourselves a Bonesaw with an Eater of Days coming in as our rare. Very cool. Unfortunately, Eater of Days, not a high value. And then right behind that, we're going to see Yuriko, the Tiger's Shadow, coming in. This is going to hold a little bit of value, just over $2. And then we're going to see a Truth or Dare coming in as our playtest card. All right, sliding into our next pack here. This one's going to kick off with the Lonesome Unicorn, followed by a Cloud Shift. Then we're going to see ourselves a Refocus, followed by a Mystic of the Hidden Way. Then we're going to see Vraska's Finisher with a Knight's Whisper, with a Mardu Warshrieker, followed by a Renegade Tactics, Domesticated Hydra. Then we're going to see ourselves a Might of the Masses with a Join Shields. Then we're going to see the Mire Sire, followed by a Chromatic Star, and a Night Howler coming in as our rare. And that'll be our only rare. And then we're going to see ourselves a Lightning Colt coming in as our playtest card. All right, so moving into pack number 8 here. Definitely seeing some value. You will always, I think, see value in these boxes. It's just a matter of whether you can pull that Mana Crypt or not, as to whether you're going to have a perfect box. So we get an Ondu Greathorn, followed by a Wall of Omens. Then we're going to see Decision Paralysis, followed by Mahatme Jin with a Grim Discovery. Then we get ourselves a Driver of the Dead, a Charging Monstrosaur with a Zealot of God Pharaoh, followed by a Rose Thorn Halberd, a Crowned Ceratok with an Armadillo Cloak, followed by a Foundry Inspector. Then we're going to see a Wild Nakatal, and then we're going to see a Sword of Amethyst coming in, another rare valued over $3, followed by a Baneslayer Aspirant coming in as our 8th playtest card. I honestly don't recall which playtest card is the most valuable. I don't have it on the screen in front of me, but I'll put it on the screen in front of you. How about that? So we got ourselves a God Pharaoh's Faithful coming in, followed by an Inspired Charge with an Ink Fathom Divers. Then we got a Shimmer Scale Drake with a Dark Blast. Then we're going to see a Dirge of Dread with a Hyena Pact, an Act of Treason, with Sihala Ledgewalker. Then we got a Death Hood Cobra, followed by a Putrefy. Then we're going to see the Meteorite, followed by a Soothsaying coming in all the way back from Mercadian Masks, with Mirian Crusader coming in as our rare. And our playtest card is going to be an Inspirational Antelope. All right, awesome. So every time I go through these boxes, I always see a card that I've never seen before in Magic. I may know it exists or I may know its artwork, but not necessarily have I read the card, because these things go way back in history. All right, so we have a Divine Favor, followed by Iona's Judgment. Then we're going to see a Befuddle with a Hornshoe Crab coming in as a common. The Hedron Crab is an uncommon valued over $4, but not the Horseshoe. We've got a Reassembling Skeleton with a Grotesque Mutation. And then we're going to see Blow Your House Down, followed by Chartooth Cougar, Byway Courier, Carnivorous Moss Beast with an Azara Oddsmaker. And then we're going to see ourselves the Gateway Plaza, followed by Triumph of the Hordes with Alicia Who Smiles at Death. Very cool. Such a great name for a card. And then we have ourselves a Patient Turtle. All right, fantastic. All right, next up we have ourselves the Isolation Zone, followed by an Unwavering Initiate, a Containment Membrane, Mystical Teachings with a Murder. And then we're going to see ourselves a Fallen Angel, followed by a Furnace Whelp. Then we're going to see a Cleansing Screech with a Snake Umbra. Crop Rotation. Is Crop Rotation? No, Crop Rotation doesn't have any value. Thought it was. Then we get a Bideumeus Blast. Sure. An Arcane Sanctum, followed by Perforos, God of the Forge. Very cool. This card is valued over $10, so fantastic. And behind that, we are going to see Philbit the Lost. Philbit, not valued over $10. He's just lost. And then we're going to see Command the Shaft coming in as our playtest card. So, all right, awesome. So we have at least one card valued over $10 so far. There could be more that I've just missed. They'll all be on the screen. So again, with 1,694 cards, it's impossible for me to know all of the prices, let alone actually have them on the screen in front of me. So we have an Enduring Victory with an Aven Battle Priest, a Dispel, followed by a Sealock Monster with a Dark Dabbling, and then we're going to see an Urborg Uprising, followed by a Dragon Fodder with a Rubble Belt Mock, Lead the Stampede, a Combo Attack with a Carthy Remnant. Then we're going to see a Guardians of Meletis, and we're going to see a Chancellor of the Annex coming in as kind of a throwback rare, valued just over $2. And then we're going to see Gideon Jura coming in as a mythic hit. Very cool to see Gideon in this treatment. Unfortunately, Gideon is not one of the 25 mythics valued over $1. And then we're going to see a Gunk Slug coming in as our play test card. I'm going to run out of room down here. So many good cards. All right, this one kicks off with the Steadfast Sentinel. Then we're going to see a Dawn Glare Invoker with a Failed Inspection, a Convolute, a Coat with Venom. Then we're going to see the Urg Raiders with a Geomancer's Gambit, Chandra's Revolution, Creeping Mold with Hunt the Weak, Pillory of the Sleepless. Then we get ourselves a Dark Steel Citadel coming in. Very cool to see that from the land cycle. And then we're going to see a Magus of the Moat coming in as our main set rare, followed by Attempt with Discovery coming in as a second rare. Very cool. Both valued over $1. And then our playtest card is Rough Underdog Champ. That is awesome. All right. So what card have you seen that you've never seen before coming out of these packs? Very curious. Drop me a comment. We got ourselves a Devil Horn Fox with an Adavanto Vanguard, a Deep Freeze, followed by a Thought Scour. Then we're going to see ourselves a Dune Beetle with a Street Wraith, Then we've got ourselves a Smelt with a Desert Ceradon, Greater Basilisk, Overrun, Blightning. Then we're going to see ourselves a Meteorite with a Dolmen's Gate coming in. Very cool to see this. Dolmen's Gate valued almost at $10. And behind that, we're going to see ourselves a Reality Scramble. Unfortunately, that is not a high value rare. Playtest is going to be a do-over. I wish you could do a do-over with these boxes if it wasn't good. All right, so this one's going to start off with the Mardu Horned Chief. Then we're going to see Benevolent Ancestor, followed by a Scab Goliath, Sigiled Starfish, Thallid Omnivore, with a Hunt of the Farbogs, with an Outnumber, Valdarian Duelist, followed by a Thornhide Wolves, Feed the Clan, Rosemane Centaur. Then we're going to see ourselves a Mishra's Factory with an Energy Field coming in. This is from Urza's Old School Rare with a Torment of Hailfire. So this is going to be a card that's going to hold some significant value for us. This is valued almost at almost at $19. And our playtest is going to be a Blind and a Liberate. Very cool. So we'll just start piling those up over there. We'll put our Torment up top. All right, so moving into pack number 16 here. We've got ourselves a Siegecraft, followed by Wake the Reflections, a Gush. They're going to see ourselves a Thrumming Bird with a Lace-Top Behemoth. And then we're going to see ourselves a Carrion Imp with an Erratic Explosion, Fury Charm, Riparian Tiger, Thornscape Battle Mage. Then we get ourselves a Shipwreck Singer, followed by a Frontier Bivouac. And then we're going to see ourselves a Font of Mythos coming in. This is going to be another card valued over $10. Very good hit for us. And behind that, we're going to see ourselves the Sliver Hive Lord. Unfortunately, this mythic is valued just around $4 and not super high. And then we're going to see a Zero Spectre coming in just in time for Halloween as our playtest card. All right, very cool. So we'll put our Font of Mythos up there. And we'll just keep ripping through and crossing our fingers, either for the Demonic Tutor, the Rhystic Study, the Mana Crypt, or Recruiter of the Guard, I think would also be a really good hit for us. So Teferi's Protection would be fine, but I think I have a few copies. So we got ourselves a Light Form, followed by a Heavy Infantry. Then we got a Shipwreck Looter, followed by a blue card I dropped called Prosperous Pirates. And then we're going to see the Blade Brand with a Black Cat. Then we're going to see Gravatic Punch, followed by a Chartooth Cougar, Gaia's Protector, an Overgrown Battlement. Then we're going to see ourselves an Esper Charm, followed by a Thran Golem. And then we're going to see Rith the Awakener coming in as a kind of an old school rare, with Debtor's Knell coming in as a black-white enchantment. Very cool. And then we're going to see a Time Sidewalk. It's kind of like a Time Walk. Very cool. All right, I have totally run out of room. We'll just put those over there and start stacking them up. All right, this one kicks off with a Healing Hands, followed by a God's Willing. Then we're going to see ourselves a Compelling Argument with a Steady Progress, Dark Withering, and then we're going to see ourselves with Tragic Slip, with a Mog Flunkies, Rubble Belt Maca, Elemental Uprising, Venom Sliver. Then we're going to see a Mist Meadow Witch, followed by a Grey Pelt Refugee, and then we're going to see Release the Ants, followed by a Hornet Nest. Very cool. That's valued just over $1. And then we're going to see Truth or Dare coming in as our playtest card. I think we're down to about 6 packs or so. Have seen some value, but not a ton of high value cards. I've opened up, I think, 3 or 4 of these boxes in my lifetime, and have always done very well. So fingers crossed. At least maybe we'll get a Lotus Petal. So we get a Ret Crop Spearmaster with a Looming Altasaur, Sailor of Means, followed by Choking Tethers, Demonic Vigor, and Awake the Vultures, hoping for Demonic Tutor. And then we get ourselves Thrill Possibility, a Defiant Ogre, followed by Yavimaya Elder with an Aggressive Instinct. Then we get a Cassili Pride Mage, a Herald's Horn. This is going to be a pretty decent hit for us, value just around $4, with a Misform Shrieker coming in as an uncommon. And then we're going to see Rarity Scrap Servant, one of the mythics coming in, value just over $1, followed by a duplicate Lightning Colt. All right, so we got ourselves a double on the playtest card. It's a little rare. Usually you don't get duplication there, but, you know, anything can happen with randomization, right? All right, so we get a Felidar Umbra, followed by a Cloud Shift. Then we're going to see a Silver Gill Adept with a Totally Lost. There's Philbit again. With a Sultani Runemark, Desperate Castaways, Pyrotechnics, Pricklebore. Then we get ourselves a Ranger's Guile with a Croson Tusker. Then we're going to see the Unflinching Courage with a Trespination Blade coming in. And then we're going to see Sakashima the Imposter coming in. That is going to hold some value for us, just over $6. Followed by a Taurian Mauler. Very cool. Valued just at $1. And then we're going to see ourselves a Wasteland coming in as our playtest card. All right, I guess we'll just put those there. Down to 4 packs. All right, this one kicks off with an Infantry Veteran. Then we're going to see an Angel of Renewal with a Capture Sphere. Ninja of the Deep Hours. Then we're going to see ourselves the Demonic Tutor. Notice it is in the uncommon slot. That is not by mistake. That's where they meant it to be because it was an uncommon at one point. So very good hit for us there. Demonic Tutor still valued over $25. So we'll just take a second, put that right over there in our good pile. Then we get ourselves a Blight Soil Druid, followed by a Swift Kick. Then we got a Valdarian Duelist with a Root Out. Then we're going to see a Dragon Scale Boon, followed by a Riptide Crab, an Emanescent Tome coming in, followed by a Pestilence. And then we're going to see a Precursor Golem coming in. I thought this might have been the Mana Crypt because I saw the kind of the artifact sides there. And then we're going to see another Patient Turtle. All right, so definitely some duplication in the playtest cards. All right, this one kicks off with the Shining Armor. Then we're going to see ourselves a Wall of Omens. Then we're going to see a Call to Heal, a Brainstorm, followed by a Scrounger of Souls, Will-O-Wisp, a Hardened Berserker with an Anger coming in, uncommon, valued over $3. Then we're going to see Map of the Wastes, followed by Kalani Heart Expedition with a Prophetic Bolt. It's funny how they don't have the foiling on this. I'm pretty sure this is the way it's supposed to be, but as a rare, you know, you would expect it to be there. And if we look at the card, well, maybe I was going to say maybe the card behind it will have one, but this rare does not. That is going to be a Blighted Fen. Then we're going to see ourselves a Core Chant coming in with, there we go. There's Urza's Rage. So as you can see, it does still have the kind of the tamper-proof, you know, proof that it's a real card. And then we get ourselves a Scaled Destruction. All right. So I'll have to look at the Prophetic Bolt. I don't think that's anything. I don't think that's a misprint. Like they forgot to put it on there. But if they did, hooray. If they didn't, oh well. All right. So next up, we got ourselves a Loxodon Partisan, followed by a Gilded Strike. Then we're going to see a Wishcoin Crab, followed by Jawar Isle Avenger with a Rakasha's Secret, Renegade Demon. Then we're going to see the Stormblood Berserker with a Fury Charm, Territorial Baloth, Priest of Titania, a Hammer Dropper. Then we're going to see ourselves the old Sky Scanner, followed by an Avalanche Riders, with a Mind Spring coming in as our rare. And then we're going to see Kaya Ghost Hunter coming in. Again, also in time for Halloween. All right, so our final pack. Now, before we open this, just want to let you know, I am going to be doing a ton of Midnight Hunt, Crimson Vow, double feature with the help of some viewers of the channel doing some box sponsorships. So make sure you don't forget to subscribe so you can see how all of those shake out at the end of the month. So now let's open up our final pack and see if our last pack is where the Mana Crypt is. All right, so we got Marked by Honor, followed by a Pegasus Courser, an Uncomfortable Chill, Hieroglyphic Illumination, an Infest with a Bloodright Invoker. Then we're going to see ourselves an Arc Trail with a Fervent Strike, Thorn-Welled Archer, Experiment 1. Yeah, I thought there were 2 cards there. Then we're going to see ourselves a Woolly Thokdar, followed by a Universal Automation. Then we're going to see ourselves a Defense of the Heart coming in. Does hold some value over $7. And the last card is going to be a rare, and it's going to be a Culligan's Command coming in. Does hold some value just over $1. And then we're going to see the Gunk Slug coming in the back. All right, so give me... it'll probably take me 45 minutes to sort all of these, but I will get everything sorted, organized, and be right back in less than 2 seconds with the MTG box analysis. We'll begin the analysis by looking at all of the cards that we pulled from the 24 booster packs. Then we'll review how much of the set we covered, along with a breakdown of coverage by rarity and a look at box duplication. Following this, we'll establish a baseline for value with a look at the current value of the set before moving into a recap of the actual observed value. Finally, we'll conclude with a summary. If you want to go deeper into the analysis and see all of the metrics for this box and more than 170 others, simply join the channel at the Give Me the Data level to download the analysis. Let's get things started by looking at all of the cards that we saw in today's box. This chart shows all the cards that we saw in green, and the set in gray is the baseline. From the primary colors of Magic, we ended up seeing between 51 and 56 cards for a variance of 5 cards. We also saw 29 multicolor, 25 artifact, and 10 non-basic lands in the box. From a coverage perspective, if we remove all duplication, we ended up seeing between 19 and 20% of all of the cards for each of the primary colors of Magic with 327 unique cards. This gave us 19% coverage of the total set. Pivoting to coverage by rarity, in today's box we saw 211 unique commons for 20% coverage, 82 uncommons for 18% coverage, 31 rares for 20% coverage, and only 4 mythics for 13% coverage. Despite the size of the set, we still saw duplication. In fact, we saw 8 cards repeated twice, giving this box a duplication rate of 2%. Before getting into the value of the cards in today's box, let's first check in on the value of the set. This chart shows all 1,694 cards broken down by category and dollar range. Currently, the set features 18 cards valued over $10, and 5 of these are valued over $20, with the Mana Crypt still demanding $161.77 in market value. The set also features 22 cards valued between $5 and $10, and 138 cards valued between $1 and $5. The other 1,516 cards in the set are currently valued under $1. If you were to add up the value of all 1,694 cards, you'd have a grand total of $1,192.95 in market value. So what kind of value did we see today? Well, I'd say we did okay, seeing 5 of the 18 cards valued over $10, including the Perforos God of the Forge valued at $10.81, Font of Mythos valued at $11.76, Triumph of the Hordes valued at $12.93, Torment of Hellfire at $18.49, and our biggest hit was the uncommon Demonic Tutor valued at $26.83. We also saw 5 cards valued between $5 and $10 and 25 cards in the $1 to $5 range. The other 301 cards that we pulled are valued less than $1. So how did this box perform? Well, I purchased this box directly from Wizards of the Coast for $269.99. Kinda. It was part of the Minneapolis 2023 Festival in a Box, which also included a draft box of Phyrexia All-Be-One and a draft box of the Brothers' War, along with some other goodies. Based on the current market prices of these boxes and the price I paid for the bundle, my rough cost for the boxes looks like this. Now, the Convention Edition Mystery Box contains 24 packs, each with 14 cards, allowing us to see 336 cards in a box plus 24 playtest cards. Those playtest cards have a total market value of $7.80. The 217 commons that we saw have a current market value of $41.84. The 84 uncommons that we pulled are valued at $65.25. The 31 rares have a current market value of $73.72. And the 4 mythics that we saw are valued at $16.15. Add it all up, and the grand total for this box comes up to be $231.10 in card market value, which is $98.74 over the price that I paid, meaning that I saw a return of 175% of my purchase price in card market value. Now, for those of you interested in cards valued just over $2, the numbers look like this. In total, we saw 24 cards valued over $2 in this box, with almost half of those being commons and uncommons. And the 24 cards have a current combined market value of $163.35. That means that those 24 cards represent 71% of the total box value and more than paid for the box. Thank you so much for watching today, and until next time, do something amazing. Download the analysis for every box open on the channel and personally DM me, just like these fine people, all by becoming a member of the channel through YouTube or over at mtgboxanalysis.com. You'll find links in the description. Until next time, do something amazing.